Hey, hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to our video podcast, Permission to Follow Your Inner GPS, Your Guided Purpose Soul Path. And today we have an amazing woman. We've been friends on social media and Facebook for quite some time, and this is our first time actually seeing each other in physical form. And it's always so nice. I love her energy. She's doing amazing work. Her name is Reba Linker, in case I forgot to say that. I get excited and get right into things, and Daddy always said you went right past diplomacy and straight into blunt. And I said, well, that hasn't changed a whole lot. So she is an amazing author, a best-selling author and a guide, a healer, and she hosts a YouTube interview show called Paint Yourself into the Picture. Please welcome Reba Linker. How are you doing, gorgeous?
Thank you, Terry Marie. It's so great to be here. It's so nice to meet you in person. It really is. And it's lovely to be here with all your viewers as well.
Thank you. So let's just get right into it because it's all about following your inner GPS.
I love that.
You know, we all want to do that, but how do we get started and how do you know? And I'll bet you aren't anywhere close to where you started out, however many years ago that was.
Oh my goodness. No. I think what we have to do is, first of all, I love the idea of following your inner GPS because that's such a powerful idea. And it's to have that sort of North Star is everything. Because I was talking yesterday about manifesting, and we were talking about when do you do the thing you're scared of, and it's the right thing to do, versus when do you get that scared message and go, okay, I shouldn't go there, and actually take it seriously. And I actually came to my own conclusion just yesterday, which is that when we have this GPS idea, this big goal, or I've got to get, to the North Pole, let's say, then that dictates whether to listen to those scared voices or not. Because what happens is, we use the example, actually I was talking with Terry Angel, who you might know, a lovely, lovely woman, and her example was, let's say you want to lose some weight. And so that's your GPS, that's your big goal, and that's that decision that you've made. But then there's the day-to-day choices. And it's in those day-to-day choices where you have to have the courage to go, yes, I'm going to walk out the door, cross the threshold, and go to the gym for the first time in 10 years. Or I'm going to pick up the phone and call that personal trainer, even though it's going to be so embarrassing to try to do a sit-up because I haven't done sit-ups in so long. So it's those things where we're like, I don't want to do it, and we feel those scared feelings. That's when we know to move past the fear. And it's all because we have the GPS. We have that kind of larger destination that tells us where we need to get to, because just deciding on that isn't enough. We have to actually do that daily decisions of stepping forward.
We have to help spirit or our guides or our angels or source help us. We have to help them help us. They can't do it all for us.
Yes.
Beautiful lady, I love that part of it, but please tell us all what it is you do. Who is Reba Linker?
Hey, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience.
Yes,
just like all of us. I've always been spiritually driven. I want to go to the light. I want to know the answers to the deep questions. And I want to bring everybody with us because it's my belief that we are spirit. And it's my belief that as we get closer and closer to spirit, our lives become more and more joyful and miraculous and beautiful. So I'm going, and I'm taking as many people as I can with me. And the way that I do that is via various vehicles and modalities. Very, very into self-love. Very into various healing modalities such as time heals. I'm a master teacher of time heals. I am a certified universal sphere practitioner. I'm a certified Z-point practitioner. So I'm actually a very curious person, as you know. Because when I find a modality that does something for me, I want to get inside it. And how does that work? And how can I share it with my clients and community? So that's who I am.
I love it. I haven't ever heard of the sphere practitioner. Is that what you said?
Universal sphere.
Universal sphere. I'm going to talk to you more about that offline. we can digress really quick here. Tell us about your journey from where you started to where you are, and maybe some of the obstacles or challenges along the way. Yeah, I know you don't have any of those, but maybe you could,
Okay. I think spirit works in a funny way, and it's almost like we're playing a game of hide and go seek. And if you are, let's say, spiritually determined, like I am, they kind of set up these fun contests for you. So it's kind of like, talk about the GPS. It's like, you want to get here? Well, we're going to put you scramble, shake, 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 throw up some dirt, bury you under here. We're going to put you here. And then we're going to ask you to find your way from there in total ignorance, total limiting beliefs, and find your way to freedom. So they set up this whole game board. And that's how I feel my life has been. I know that we all feel that we've had challenges, and our challenges cannot be judged from the outside because they're how we experience them. So I really grew up having all kinds of beliefs that didn't serve me.
Right.
And, they just, that somehow I got the message that I was here to serve others, which I am, but not in the way of not serving myself.
Right. It's not a servitude and denying and sacrificing, which so many beautiful spiritual souls is like, well, if I'm spiritual, then I can't want. No. There's no book anywhere that says you can't have.
No. I go by these very wonderful 3-part saying by Rabbi Hillel, which is, if I am not for me, who will be?
Right. Exactly.
So we do have to be for ourselves. It's part of our divinity that we have to speak for ourselves and stand for ourselves and know what our rights as human beings are. We are children of divine spirit. Now that is a very magnificent inheritance. And we have to assume that cloak ourselves. So we do have to be for ourselves. Now that the saying goes on, because it doesn't stop there. It goes, if I'm only for myself, what am I?
Right.
Which is part 2. But first you have to be for you. And then you can do for others. So they go together and they go in the right order. And then just because we're doing this, I'll give you the last part, which is, if not now, when?
When? I love that. I've not ever heard all 3 pieces. I didn't realize that they were a cohesive unit or energetic unit until right now, because I've heard and read, if not now, then when. It's like, okay, well, yeah. But you put it into perspective, and it also addresses the selfish piece when really it's talking about being self-focused.
Yes. Self-loving.
So we can give more, and it's not about giving more, it's about so we don't burn out. At least that's my understanding of it all.
Absolutely. And we have to stand up for ourselves. We should never allow ourselves to be abused. We should never allow ourselves to be used unless we are willingly asking, use my talent, use me in a good way. We have to stand up for ourselves. We are not here to suffer. We are not here to be in pain.
No.
We're not. And that's what it means by, if I am not for me, who will be? Because if something's hurting me, it's not for me to wait for somebody to notice and rescue me. It's
Right.
for me to say, ouch, stop. I have to stand up for myself.
Absolutely. So can you share just even one challenge or obstacle with our viewers so that it's like, okay, even though she looks perfect on the outside and I really watching her for a while and we're going to have some of your audience and your friends and colleagues as well. And it's like, well, it looks really pretty on the outside, and this isn't about digging stuff up. It's just, everybody has their stuff.
Absolutely.
And it's, what's that saying? Until you've walked a mile in so-and-so's shoes, you have no idea
Right.
what they've really been through.
Exactly. And that's,
So
yeah, beautiful.
share just one thing with us so that it's like somebody gets, yeah, okay, if Reba went through that, then okay, then I can get through.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm actually going to speak directly to the way you phrased the question, which was so brilliant, because part of what I experienced, or one of my main challenges, was this split between appearances and reality.
Yes.
And I think I have a Facebook group, which I love, and you're part of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
wonderful having you there.
Thank you.
Leaders in self-love.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think I shocked everybody in the group because I did a live stream the other day, and I just came on and I said, something you might not know about me is that I'm really shy. And that it's really hard because I've been doing some live streams, and sometimes people comment, but sometimes it's crickets. And it's really hard. And I explained to them that it really, I need the interaction, and that my teaching starts clicking when I start having people to work with, and I need them. And everyone's like, wow, I never thought you were shy. And that was one of the challenges that I had, because in my family, it was a kind of a very particular form of suffering. Let's say it wasn't just, poverty and drugs and all these like sort of straight ahead horrible things. It was sort of psychological stuff, but all cloaked in the facade of it. We're a happy family.
Oh, wow. So the reality and the appearance you got taught from a very early age to keep the two very segmented and separated.
Yes.
Wow. Isolated, actually.
Yes. I did not even know my own feelings. I didn't know. I was so good at suppressing my feelings that I just really, and so that has been such a big learning. And of course, well into my adulthood, this is stuff that people learn when they're 6 years old, how to express your truth and speak your mind and express your feelings. That was an enormous challenge for me. And it's like so vulnerable to actually say, oh, like to come out and say, hey guys, I'm shy, was like, still, it was.
Well, I feel very much like I'm an introverted extrovert. If I'm in a room and I don't know anybody, I pull my energy in and I kind of just am real quiet. You might not even know I'm there. And then once we get to know each other, you just can't keep me quiet.
Funny. And I might go into that room and be very social, but not make any real context because it's kind of a facade. I really know how to do the facade. And bringing my inner and outer selves together has been kind of a challenge.
Therein, leaders in self-love. I mean, how you had to literally, you knew what it wasn't. So now you know how and figure out how to get it or to be it and live it. And that is why you are living it. You are sharing it. You are a leader in self-love because you had so much of the opposite. Now you know what the other side is.
I do. It was, all our challenges are blessings in disguise. And our harshest life lessons are the biggest gifts. And every piece that I had to, it's like in that game I described, that was like, one stone house that I was in, and I had to find my way out. Every stone house, every challenge, every obstacle gives us as teachers material to share and
Yes.
to share with others.
Yes, it does. So how did you, sharing that, it is really very personal experience, and thank you for that. I want to, before they start taking me off on this other part of where we're going with you, thank you, because that is huge. And I grew up with conditional love. A lot of that has been healed over and not just fixed, but really healed at the soul level. And yet, because it was so conditional, I know what unconditional is now. Like, you know what self-love is, because you were not allowed to be it or have it or express it.
Exactly. And our two things that we're expressing are very related, because conditional love, I mean, it's the same thing that I had. It's all, you'll be accepted based on your performance.
Yes.
And a lot of people do that. It's a talk about, you said, oh, you look so perfect. Did you have any problems? It's like the kid in school that's getting all A's. Oh, they've got it made. They've got no problems.
Mm-hmm.
But what if they go home and, their parents don't accept them unless they're bringing home that A?
Right.
It's not like you said, you have to walk a mile in somebody's shoes before
At least. At least. So how did you get started in doing this? Not maybe just, how did you get started doing it for yourself? And then it was like, okay, now I need to really get out there and step up and do this.
Well, it's a long story. When I was just about 20, I was working in an art supply store in downtown Manhattan. And this woman I worked with just kept talking about Shanta, Shanta, Shanta. I was like, you've got to take me to Shanta. I've got to go see Shanta. And she just kept not bringing me. And then Shanta was in New Jersey, and a group of them would get together in an apartment and drive over to I showed up. It was so out of character. I was like, take me to Shanta. I don't know where I got, the nerve to do that. And she said, oh no, we're going on to Universal Laws 2. We just finished Universal Laws 1. You'll have to wait till Universal Laws 1 comes around. I'm like, call her up. I was so bold, but I really feel like that it was a, spirit speaking through me. And she called, and Shanta said, of course, bring her over. And I studied with Shanta for over 30 years.
Oh my.
Yes. So I just knew that I needed her.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was a different kind of experience of a teacher than what we experience now. Everything's online, or buy my package and get my CDs. It wasn't like that. It was really an old-fashioned thing of go to her living room, sit on the couch, sit on the floor, stretch out, lie down on the floor, and meditate at the end. We do full moon pujas and stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning. It was like an amazing experience. And I just loved it. And I knew I needed it, because I really didn't know who I was. I didn't know how to be a person. I didn't know what was my rights, what I deserved, what I was capable of. And she gave me all that. She gave me a helping hand when I tell her that she's passed away now, but I tell her that she saved my life. She says, I just gave you a helping hand when you needed it. And
well,
they're both true. She saved my life, because I would not be here the way that I am if I didn't have that spiritual guidance to really let me know what was what. I came up in an atheist family. I just didn't have any of that kind of background. And I just, so it was just a beautiful, incredible experience. So I studied with her forever. And I know that one of the things that you want, I'm going to cheat a little and sort of spill the beans, but you wanted to ask me, did I always want to do this? Right? Or did you already ask me that? And it's like yes and no, because I always admired Shanta. She was, it's hard to express the amount of admiration and love that we had for her, because she was so extraordinary. And this is, more than 30 years ago, so it was very unusual. Nobody was talking about manifest. First time I heard the word manifesting was from her. And universal laws and metaphysics. Nobody was doing. I mean, there was a few books. There was Don Juan, Carlos Castaneda books. Just very few books. Or there was a series of novels about a Tibetan monk.
Okay.
But anyway, long story short, I always admire her. So somewhere in me, I wanted to be like her. But on the other hand, she was so kind of out of this world. I mean, channeling and healing, and it's, just she did extraordinary things, and we all loved her so much. And so I couldn't imagine being like her. And I was pursuing a career in dance. So I opened a dance studio. And so all the time, I'm going for dance and having my life experiences. And then she passed away, and I got a message from her that I'm supposed to be doing what she did. And I'm like, really? You sure about that? Wow. What am I going to teach? What am I going to say? What am I going to do? So yes and no.
I think once we say yes to the first part, then we're kind of led along the way, and sometimes we're allowed to kind of deviate because we don't think we're ready. And then all of a sudden it's like this big thing happens. Your mentor, your guide transitions from physical into non-physical, into the spirits, and you get a message from her and you go, okay, but how am I supposed to do that? Because there's no manual for what we're supposed to do. Not really. There are some guides who are kind of come before us, and yet it's like, okay, so how do I do that and still be me and be authentic? And OMG, who's going to listen to me? Aren't I being a fraud? And it's like,
all that stuff comes in. And with Shanta, of course, there was that, I can't be like her. So I had to really find, how will I do this authentically as me, and finding my own gifts and what I have to offer. So, and it's very interesting that you mentioned, that she passed. And that was like really the beginning of a new chapter, because she did energetically carry her students. And when she passed, we really had to start stepping up. And so it's been very, very interesting to me to go, okay, now I've got to embody, especially when you want to teach it.
Yes.
You can't just say, okay, be free. What does that mean if you can't do it yourself? So it's been such a transition of, I know it all up to here, and now I've got to kind of match all that 30 years of knowledge, all that wisdom. I have to actually step in. That's the way I look at it, part of the way I look at it. So it's been a really interesting period of my life. A wonderful period, really.
It's sometimes people, and I'm just going to use a general statement, people in general think that it's so easy because it's not that we're making it look easy, it's just you have practiced this for a long time. Even in your dance studio, being the instructor, being the leader, you were already, that's true, I just got to download, you were already being a leader in self-love, because to be able to dance, I mean, you have to throw away the mask from the human side of so-and-so's not good enough, or so-and-so's better, or they kick higher, or whatever, or you can't make a career out of this, you're too tall, you're too whatever. And you get to help start teaching that already to empower and embrace themselves.
Yeah.
How amazing is that?
Yes, yes. It really, I was talking to somebody else the other day, and it's really not what you teach, it's who you are. So whether
Yeah.
I'm teaching dance or I'm running a business, because that was another, really big expression of myself, was to
Mm-hmm.
big, I had like 21 instructors, and it was a big, big studio.
Wow.
And, hey, I did that. Wow. You know? And now I'm doing it, I'm doing it again. I have that online community now. So I'm sort of doing a parallel type of enterprise, which is such a blessing because I'm in a different stage of my life where I need to be home more. And
Mm-hmm.
now I can work online and create this online community. So it's very, very, I feel very blessed that these new chapters come at the right time.
And having been a dance instructor and having had 21 instructors, that alone, that piece was a dance in itself. And you're
Boy, was
right?
Talk about herding cats,
Yes, I used to manage an art shop. Yes,
So you know. So
I
you
do.
know.
I do.
Really, a lot of skills go into it, and I learned a lot. It was a great experience. And now, now that I'm doing the next chapter, which I consider A to Z Healing Space, the next kind of iteration of trying to organize this type of structure.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take what I learned there and bring it over and take the lessons of what I don't want to do and do it better.
Yes.
So it's just the next step, moving into something new.
So what pearl of Reba Linka wisdom and experience would you like to share with everyone who sees this to
All right.
following their own inner GPS?
All right. I think that we all have our dreams.
Mm-hmm.
That we know, because those things excite us. And my GPS would be, my inner wisdom would be, have it, but don't chase it. So you've got the goal,
Mm-hmm.
and think about being more than doing. Just be in receiving. Don't chase, because sometimes when we chase, when I was asking what message do I want to bring forth here for your viewers, it was this idea of trust and being. And my teacher used to say, it's like chasing a beach ball in a pool. The more you chase, the more it moves away, and you can't ever catch up. And if you just glide under it and lift it up, there it is in your hands. So there has to be just a relaxation. We're all so stressed.
Mm-hmm.
We're also got so much chatter going.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about relax every cell of your body, oh, how much relaxing is there? How much to let go of your cheek muscles, your teeth,
Yes.
your shoulders, your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips. Just let it go and just be and allow. It was funny. I was talking to another friend. All this stuff is floating in. All these conversations are weaving in, and we're part of this conversation. And I actually look forward to getting feedback on this and start talking to the people watching. But a friend of mine said that she was sick and she got into the hospital. She's fine, thank God. She's home again. But we were talking about how sometimes when you take a break, things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
that's always been my experience too. I once had like a knee injury, and then, toward the end of my rehab, I got a call to be, on a show, and, it was like, oh, what a plum it was. And it was like the last thing on my mind. I wasn't chasing it. I just was, zoning out for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, some people you have to tell, get up off the couch and do something.
Yes.
But a lot of people you have to say, stop doing and relax and receive and just be. Just be. It's all here for you. And we do a lot of splashing and a lot of pushing it away with the chatter and the tension and the anger and the reactions. So just be.
And that's not an easy thing when we're all taught to control every part of our life, to just be. And it's okay to take a break, because if you're not always in constant motion, then you're not doing enough or something. And yet when you take a break, you get those moments of inspiration.
Yes.
Like that plum of being invited to be on a show. And had you been scurrying about, somehow the energy would not have connected. And we're not saying that you had to be hurt. It's just you were in a place of not, and you were in a place of being, being still.
I really was. I was just lying down and resting. And I really, for some reason, I was very relaxed for that period of a week or 2 weeks or whatever amount of time it was. It was a while ago. But that's just one example. And I think a lot of times when, it's almost a cliche, you'll find the guy when you stop looking for him. Or it's those
Yep.
are all these paradoxes that are always a little bit like, true. You have to relax and be, and the energy, being in that joyful present energy, that expansive energy, it really does make you more receptive. So it's really about being in a receptive.
Yes, absolutely. And we could keep on going for a long time, and we'll have you back if that's all right, and we'll continue, because there's the universal law of giving and receiving and balancing, and I can see we could do a whole nother video podcast all about that with you.
Yes.
So tell our viewers, in case they don't already know, how they can find you. How can they connect with you, beautiful?
Okay, well, I have 2 wonderful offers, and I have 2 websites, each one with a very spectacular offer. So my personal website is rebalinker.com, and one of the menu items is Work with Reba. And one of the sub items is the 100 Healings devotional project.
Ooh.
So click on that, and it's my offer to do a 15-minute to half-hour private session with me on a pay-what-you-wish basis. I'm going to do 100 healings on this pay-what-you-wish basis, and people can experience a time heal session, or they can experience a universal laws, a universal sphere session, and of their choosing. And on that webpage, there's a bit of a description to help people understand
Good.
what their options are. So that's
Excellent.
one offer, to work with me privately. And the other thing is that on the second Tuesday of every month, I have a self-love circle. And it's online like this. We meet via Zoom, and we just kind of explore a different topic every month. This month we explored choice.
Ooh, nice.
Power of choice, and how do you choose, and what if you have too many things to choose from, and all different kind of aspects. And it was very powerful. It really was. And the special offer there is you can join for the first month for only $2.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and then it's $18 a month after that. But that's on my A to Z website, and that's A2Z, A-T-O-Z, healingspace.com. And the menu item there, you'll see a menu item called Circle Space, and one of the sub items is Self-Love Circle with Reba Linker. So I hope that's not too complicated and people can find these links. And I do have the Facebook group as well, which is Leaders
in Self-Love. Yes, it's amazing. Now, I'm not in there often enough. However, when I do pop in, there's always something fabulous.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because I love this lady very much, which I do.
I love you too.
I go by energy, and it's an amazing place to help you get a jump start, if you will, on self-love. And we all say, well, I love myself. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother set of days.
Let's
And
do
you know,
more.
the truth is we could always do a little bit more.
Well, let's do more conversations if you want,
Yes,
and really let people start kind of digging in a little bit and
yes,
exploring and
absolutely.
putting their toe a little more
Absolutely.
in the water.
Thank you so much for being here. And there's only one thing more I would like to share with everyone who is viewing this, at some point in time. We have, and we're starting an amazing community called Living Spirit and Wellness Global Directory. And it is about helping empaths attract their ideal clients. So we'll pop the link in a little bit later and just go and visit, and you just might find the right coach or healer to help you follow your inner GPS. Thank you again, you beautiful lady, for sharing your time, your wisdom, and your experience with us. It has been a pure joy,
It
and
has.
we'll do this again very soon.
I hope so. Thank you so much, Terry, and thank you to all the viewers as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.